Welcome back, and oh my gosh, I'm not even talking about, that we're back with another episode. Fuck this shit, this episode was just way too good. Oh boy. Shit got real in this episode. In the first third or half of the episode, we had a lot of comedy around the new character, the mech pilot, who is totally the story type of a certain mech pilot from a 90s show. And yeah, we all know who this mech pilot is. I don't wanna fight, I'm doing it all day. It sucks. I didn't even go on a date with her. And yeah, very, very funny first part. And what I really liked is that the new creator, the creator of the mech pilot, that he experienced the same thing as Sota when he encountered Silesia, because things happened and he found himself in this world, but it was so fast he didn't really realize it, or at least it's portrayed in this way. But then he thought, oh god, something is not right, and he had this feeling that something bad is going to happen, and yeah, he knew that was coming out of his TV. He ran out of the house with his TV, threw the TV away, and then a fucking huge mech appeared. Oh boy, that mech is so fucking huge. And it looked awesome when it was coming out of the TV. Seriously, the focus point with the TV and the house in the background, and then the mech coming out and putting the arms on the ground, it looked freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. But yeah, destruction was there because such a huge fucking mech is heavy as hell. And then yeah, the character, kind of funny that the creator is having troubles dealing with him, and you can totally see that he's regretting his decision to make the twist to his character once this guy is getting into the defense for something. And yeah, and it looks like Mr. Mech Pilot prefers younger girls, or at least girls that are younger than him. He was throwing a tantrum, saying that he didn't even go on a date with a girl, and Celeste was, well, I'm not her, but what about going on a date? And he was like, yeah, no, I like younger girls than me. Really funny episode. And once the creator of Silesia started to talk with the other creator, damn, I forgot their names, but who cares? And he was like, oh yeah, the world is in trouble and we're gonna have to do something about it. And then the other creator was like, going with the cliche storylines, huh? Very funny to bash the pure little light novel writer, even though what he said was actually the truth. And then we got a nice action scene, and it was really cool. The military invading the house, and the mech pilot was sitting there eating cookies and defending himself, and then yeah, even though he didn't want to fight in this world, he just called his mech and shit was going on. But yeah, we have the negotiator at hand we need in this situation, our beloved Meteora. And leaving things to her, we found ourselves and the cast in a room with a certain council of countermeasurement for this unexpected situation, aka fictional characters coming into the real world and having their powers from their respective stories. And good lord, I am so happy right now, I can't even put it into words. The government is not being the fucking bad guys. Oh my gosh. I love it. I don't know why, but uh, quite a lot, or quite often, to put it this way, the government is either being the bad guys or the ones who are doing nothing, and one organization is the bad guys. High at the sci-fi adventures. But man, the government is just trying to deal with the situation like everyone else, like the main character, like the creations and the creators. And boy, the entire council sitting was done very well, at least in my opinion. The characters were being like you would expect them. Meteora is the one who was basically talking. And yeah, the mech pilot was silent all the time, and the other creators were just answering when it was necessary, at best. Most of them were just silent and Meteora talked. And it was very funny when they get to see the images of stuff that happened, the fight scenes, and obviously Sota and the other creator, the light novel writer, both of them recognized the old man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see this. But then something other happened, and there was a picture of Meteora flying and the report that missiles and guns went missing from the military storage. And boy, counting or listing the amount of money that one missile costs and the total amount, and then also what was destroyed. Man, this was funny. And Meteor at first, well, yes, it was necessary, and then, oh yeah, but the buildings and the stadium, and then she was like, I'm sorry. It was so funny, but it was just so fitting of her character. And I really liked the scene because how often do we get something like this? Buildings are destroyed, stuff was taken away, and then someone is listing numbers of how much it costs. Almost never. This is a sad fact. And I'm so happy that this is happening and that we are getting this reasonable scenes and reactions and stuff from the government side. I mean, come on. How often are characters destroying buildings or using something and destroying the items, and you have either, well, this was expensive. That's it. Nothing more. Here we have actual numbers. Even though it was then played off by the government side or by the negotiator woman or whatever she's called. But yeah, it was very, very funny, and even though she knew that it was necessary in this moment, it was something that has to be said, that this costs money and it's by the taxpayers and so on, and I tip my hat for this, even though I don't wear one. But man, the entire council thing was so good. And we have even more. When that woman was saying, well, the creations, and then we have the light novel writer stepping in with, she's not an object, don't talk about her like this. And the woman reacted with, well, it's unprecedented for us and we don't really know how to deal with it, but we will respect their personality and human rights. And they will be added as legal people there, and they will get their papers. And I really, really liked the fact, even though, especially by the creator, that he was not just going with, well, don't talk about her like this, but he just said, without throwing a tantrum, just seriously, she's not an object. Don't talk about her like this. And it was very, very nice. And this is also a nice question how we should or could see, or we are seeing fictional characters. Are they object? Are they just fictional characters, or are they real characters? And it's something I really, really like about it. And yeah, the government being the good guys who are just trying to deal with the mess. Oh god, it's so good. I would say it's the best part of the entire episode, but yeah. The entire episode is the best part of this episode. Fuck it, it's so good. Oh, and the ending. Yeah, we all know for the previous 4 episodes that Sota knows something about the military princess, or what she is called. And yeah, he really does. When he was back in his home, because it was getting tougher and tougher, and he was showing more and more reactions when thinking, or when the topic about that girl coming up. And then at home he sat at his computer and he was like, why do I know her? And then he starts googling it, or whatever search engine they were using, but he was going for it, and then he remembered a girl. And from the way it was portrayed, they were quite close, because she was taking his glasses and putting them on herself and smiling. So yeah, it should be quite obvious that they were close. And it's also the girl that committed suicide at the beginning of episode 1. So yeah, it looks like she is the actual creator of the military princess. And when the topic came up to if it's okay to draw, all is hinting, or all is showing or pointing the finger at Sota this time, that he was the illustrator. And there was even a video with a portrait and a white-haired girl with twin tails. And when the zoom was coming, the portrait changed into the military princess. So yeah, it looks like it's, or the way it was with the story or the chapter name, or the story. I'm not sure if it was the story name or the chapter name with the 40th saber, but I'm really curious to learn about it in the future of this show, because I'm so fired up. But yeah, going back to the point of what kind of story it is, or what type, not in the story sense, but more of what kind of medium. A light novel, a manga, a visual novel. It's with the comment of the writer that this is probably the last story or the last chapter or whatever. I think it's actually a web novel that was quite popular. And yeah, here we are, Sota realizing why he knows the military girl, and also who the creator is. And yeah, another creation where the creator is actually dead. Oh boy. What an amazing episode. And this show, along with Suka Suka and Eromanga Sensei, they are my top 3 of the season. I'm not going to say that one of them is better than the other one of them, but because all 3 of them, they're very different, and I love all three of them. Fuck it, so good. Thanks for watching. See you later for Eromanga Sensei. Bye bye.